So here we see the Pine Hill Music School Access database. We created some tables to help the Pine Hill School manage their contracts, organize their student list, their teacher list, and we learned how to import data. You can go to external data, you can import Access files, Excel files you see here, text files, any kind of file that you want to import, and Access will import it as a formatted thing. So for example, we imported the students from a text file, and we were able to do that. We also did some queries you can do using database tools, or create. You can create tables, obviously, but you can also create different forms. Like we created a form for the teacher's information, and we created reports. You could create a report. We created a teacher list, a report of the teachers based on when they started. You can query certain information. That also helps you to easily find information. Another thing that we did was we created relationships. So you can define relationships between tables. In this case, we created relationships so that they recognize similar information, teacher ID to teacher ID in the teacher to contract table, and student ID to student ID in the student to contract table. And that allowed us to, it allows you to quickly access information about the relationships that exist in your tables. And we found out that we can use different views. There's a design view, which allows you to add fields or subtract fields, move fields around. And then you can set what are the parameters for certain fields. So for example, the student ID, the field size should never be more than 7 characters. And that way, if you accidentally enter an incorrect student ID number with too few characters, too many, Access will recognize that and let you know that you're making a mistake. Because when you're handling huge amounts of data like this, obviously it's easy to make input mistakes of the data, and this kind of helps prevent, making mistakes like that. You also set your keys, your key fields. You can set by placing the key there, primary key. So that primary key it has to be unique. That ID, whatever you've set that at, has to be unique to the to the tables, so that you never have more than one of those, because that way you can always locate information. So someone they can really only have one primary ID, right? Which in this case is going to be an ID number. And that allows you then to search it in other tables, so it can never be duplicated. You could have several student IDs, maybe someone's been a student more than once, or they have different contract information, but you can never have more than one primary key. So yeah, that's what we learned about here in Access this week. It was very helpful. I can see how it would help someone manage large amounts of information. And I definitely liked working in the design view. Just was very clear, what you had to do and how you could manage the data.